Hello YouTube, DroidFreak here, and today I have a special Minecraft video for you. I'm in the Feed the Beast mod pack, which adds a whole lot of technical mods to Minecraft. So I'm going to go show you some of the awesome stuff that I've built. This is a bed, it's pretty standard. This is not at all vanilla. So let me go through it a few bits at a time. This is my mob farm. Well, rather this is the tube that the mobs fall down. Let's see if I can use my jetpack to fly up to the top without getting, killed by mobs. Here we go. Turn on hover mode so I go slower. Glitching? Oh, just graphical glitching. And the mob farm is flooding right now. All the mobs are gonna get pushed into this. Are there any in there? Oh yeah. The Skelly tried to shoot me as he fall fast. Wow, crazy Skelly. I also have a skeleton spawner hooked up through there, but it doesn't spawn unless I'm close to it, so yeah. The reason why I had that is because bone meal is the most important thing that I want from this mob farm. So what happens when the mobs fall and die is their stuff gets grabbed by these obsidian pipes right here. These pipes are part of the buildcraft mod. So obsidian pipes can pick up items. Iron pipes, which are underneath them, point items in the right direction, so they funnel the items out that pipe right there. Then they go to a few diamond pipes, which sort them into these barrels, which are from the factorization mod. So these barrels have the different items. This right here is a pulverizer from the Buildcraft thermal expansion, which is a mod to the Buildcraft mod, basically. So this takes any bones that come through and pulverizes them into 6 bone meal each, because it can totally do that. And the bone meal is then picked up and used by this guy, this turtle. Is that a large tree that has other wood in it? Hopefully it's just the wood in the trunk. I keep trying to lower the ceiling in here to make sure that it only grows trees that have wood along the central panel, but runs into problems. See, this turtle's job is to cut down trees to get lots and lots of wood, and he also tries to gather enough saplings to keep himself running. The bone meal and fuel for him are supplied from these barrels right here. This one supplies the bone meal from the mob farm. This one supplies the fuel from the machine that he's supplying, basically. This barrel right here has wood in it, occasionally, but the wood gets immediately sucked out into this powered furnace, which smelts it into charcoal, which immediately gets pulled out by this here transposer. I think that's part of the Redpower mod. In any case, it's a very, very nice way of transporting things. I use a transposer there too, with these pneumatic pipes. They're basically a smarter version of Buildcraft pipes. So this transposer pushes out this charcoal. It first goes into these Stirling engines, which are kept constantly supplied with charcoal. So these engines power this powered furnace that also powers this sawmill down here, which basically gives me as many planks as I want. Not to mention wood pulp, which is pretty much useless. And those 2 Stirling engines also power this pulverizer right here. The pulverizer is like the macerator in Industrial Craft, except basically better and cheaper, because right now I have the Greg Tech mod pack on, and that makes the pulverizer so much more expensive. It costs like 5 diamonds or something. It's ridiculous. So, anyways, after the charcoal comes from there, heads into all of these engines. which are currently turned off, but I think I'll turn them off in a few seconds to show you what they do. Those engines power this machine right here, which has another pulverizer. Let me take out that cobble, which is fed by one of those transposers, which is smart enough to only feed items when the pulverizer has room. So if the pulverizer is full, then it won't feed any more items to it. It's just smart like that. There's my mob farm at work. So awesome. So the pulverizer pulverizes them, and like the industrial craft macerator, it gets two dusts basically, though they're called pulverized whatever, and each of those can be smelted into one ingot, so it basically doubles your output. And occasionally the pulverizer also gives you like another one. There's a slight chance of giving you another ingot of a different type. Anyways, all of these output stuff gets sent out the top. You can actually configure which sides do what on these thermal expansion machines. That's really nice. Anyways, another transposer pulls it out the top, sends it into these 4 furnaces, and because transposers are so smart, they actually know how to balance them out between the different furnaces. That one actually still has some sand in it, because I was pulverizing some cobble to turn into sand to get glass. But enough about that later. We can power up this machine with basically infinite fuel. I've tested, and this machine can actually run without slowing down off of the charcoal that is supplied by that guy. Like, if I ran this all the time, I would still get some charcoal from this guy. He produces that fast, so that's very nice. And in here I have a bunch of ores, some of which are not very vanilla, most of which aren't actually. I have copper, I have lead, I have ferrous ore. Not even exactly sure what that is, because, like, I think ferrous means, like, iron in real life, but I think it actually smelts into tin, mostly. I don't get it. There's silver, there's gold. Well, gold is vanilla. I have lots of iron, like over a stack and a half. Iron is pretty common, but it's also pretty useful. And, oh, that's right, I have wood pulp on me. Wood pulp is, like, completely useless. Why do I have wood? I should put this in the barrel of wood that is being turned into charcoal. Well, being turned into charcoal and planks simultaneously. Because if I grab a stack of planks out of this just for demonstration, the sawmill will immediately saw me a bunch more. Along with wood pulp. Yeah. Anyways, the sawmill is a more efficient version of just crafting your wood into planks, because it gives you 6 per, plus this wood pulp, which is not very useful at all, but whatever. It was actually more useful back when it was sawdust? I don't know. I think when I added something to the game, I think it was when I added Greg Tech, it changed to wood pulp, which doesn't make sense because Greg Tech is all about industrial craft, and the sawmill is build craft, but whatever. In any case, this is a lot of stuff that I got. Apparently manganese dust and tungsten dust don't smelt in these furnaces, that's why they're just in there. And I have some glass that I got from smelting sand, rather grinding up cobble in the pulverizer to smelt in these. So I just throw some cobble in here, or even in this chest, and I get glass out. I might as well do that now. Just give myself another stack of glass. And you should see these things getting constantly resupplied with charcoal. You can see that they're all still right about 64, a little bit less. But they're being pretty well supplied. Oh, lag. I'm sorry about the lagginess of this video, but well, I can't get Optifine to work with this, so that's why it's laggy. Also, there are a lot of machines, which just add to the lag factor. And I actually have way more planks than I need on me now, because I demonstrated with another stack. Anyways, as you might have noticed, I have an electric jetpack on me, so I can fly. Ooh. Yep, that's pretty cool. I recharged that using some industrial craft stuff. So I take this jetpack off me, put it in this bat box, and it gets recharged. And the bat box power level goes down by a little bit, but it then gets charged back up because I have a generator down here, which I have fed a bunch of charcoal, because I have tons of charcoal. Oh, I don't think I finished my tour of this thing right here. After the pneumatic pipe goes past the Stirling engines, it goes on over there. I'll need to go around at the back to follow it. After the charcoal goes to all these engines, it goes up here. Oh, I can't actually go through here. Well, the pipe goes around, and I'll go find it on the other end. And it goes to that barrel of charcoal that the turtle can refuel from. And I can also grab charcoal from it for whatever I need, because there is quite a bit of charcoal in here. Wow, 14 stacks. Almost 15. Yep, lots and lots of charcoal. So that's basically how I'm planning on fueling all of my fancy machines so far in this world, because, I mean, I can power stuff with charcoal because I just get infinite charcoal, basically. Yeah, I was thinking of using maybe some sort of more advanced fuel, but honestly, charcoal works pretty well. At least for the sort of applications that I've been doing so far. And gravel, I forgot. Occasionally, when you pulverize cobblestone, it produces gravel in addition to sand, and gravel does not smelt. So that's something that I need to be on the watch for. Yeah, see, gravel went in that one. I just need to watch out for furnaces that should be smelting something but aren't, basically. And you can tell if they're smelting because they're blue and lit up like that. So if one to the left of one that is lit up isn't lit up, it's a pretty good sign that there's probably something that doesn't smelt in there. Like, for instance, gravel, or manganese dust, or tungsten dust more often. I only got one manganese dust. I think it's something for a different mod that just happens to have a recipe with the pulverizer. So I didn't actually get any ore that would normally produce manganese, it just came out of another ore. And since I don't have the mod that it corresponds to, there's like no use for it. So that's awesome. Not. What I'm thinking of doing next? Well, first let me show you where I got all these ores, or where I got some of them, rather. A lot of them I got from cave crawling, actually, but you might have noticed by now that I'm walking past a whole bunch of strip mines, and like on my computer craft world, I have a turtle that strip mines, and I have done that a lot, as you can tell by how far I had to go to get past all the strip mines. So let me do it again, just to demonstrate. One difference between this and the one in the computer craft world is that this one can't actually, like, place his own torches. Because of the orientation that he's in, if he placed his torches, they would end up on the blocks in front of him, like that, and they'd just end up getting destroyed right away. So this stuff that I just found is nickelite. It's used in the Redpower electricity, which I haven't really used at all yet. So I actually have a barrel full of the stuff that I don't use because I haven't used that stuff yet. The stuff that I'm running into right now is silver and lead. Silver is the light colored stuff that almost looks like diamond, and lead is this dark colored stuff. This is sapphire. Sapphire is actually what, well, stuff similar to sapphire is what all the tools that I have right now are made out of. Basically, sapphire, green sapphire, and ruby are only useful for making tools, so that's kinda nice. Well, it's nice that they're better than iron tools, and that's their only use, so you can easily use them for that without worrying about wasting them. Oh, and I see some actual diamond over there, I think. Yeah, that is definitely actual diamond. Nice. I think diamond might be even more rare than usual in this, but since I've been strip mining so much, I found quite a bit. I might be getting close to a stack of diamonds. That would be pretty legit. And oh, that's right, I'm charging my jetpack. I'm so used to being able to fly out of holes like that. It's like, why can't I fly? I should go get my jetpack out of the charger. Yeah, I don't actually have it on me. Should get it out of the bat box. And there we go. I can actually jump over one block gap like that. Good to know. I was expecting to like fall into it and have to jump back up. If I had a jetpack, then I could just hold spacebar, and I'd actually like glide across the ceiling above any pits in the floor. But anyways, let me go grab that jetpack. Maybe I'll go show you my mob farm too. Let me see. Is it successfully getting rid of all the wood now? I was having a problem before where there would be wood generating off to the sides, like it would generate a large tree rather than just a regular small tree. That was annoying. But let me grab my jetpack, and how about I show you the top of the mob farm? I have a little exit hole right here. So I press M to turn off hover, then I can get out of here faster. Again, sorry for the lag. There's really nothing I can do about it. Besides, get a better computer. Which isn't really an option right now. Maybe relatively soon. Oh, really? Rain. The icing on the cake. Anyways, this is my mob farm. If we could see it. It is very similar to the one in my computer craft world, except larger. And as such, it is similar to the one in my farm everything world, but above ground and, again, larger. So basically, there are 3 layers instead of the 2 that I had in my farm everything world. Well, kind of 4 layers in this one and 3 in that. It has 3 full layers and then 1 layer of these little triangular flow platforms to let the water flow out. I have the water starting off right here. These pistons block it and unblock it, and when it's blocked it doesn't flow. When it is unblocked it flows right down into the corner here, into the corner there, and when it's in there it flows into any mobs that might be there. Oh, there's some spiders that spawned. Cool. Yeah, the main problem with this farm currently is that it is really far above where I live. It's like 110 blocks above my little underground house there, because my house is at layer 11, and this is basically on top of a mountain. So, yeah. The main problem is that not as many monsters spawn as would if I hung out near the mob farm. But it's not that big of a deal because I don't need that many mob drops, and this farm is pretty big, so it's reasonably efficient. It fits my purpose. Here's a little temporary infinite source that I never removed because There's really no reason to. Let me show you this wiring in the center. Wiring out from the center is pretty basic, just goes to all the pistons, but this uses the Redpower repeaters, which can have a delay of up to like 32 ticks or something. Something ridiculous. I actually only have 2 of them on full delay, which should be these ones, I think. Yeah, those ones are on full delay. These 4 are on like 1 tick delay, so yeah. I only really need 2 of them here. The other 4 are just because I originally tried 6 of them and it was super long, so yeah. These are really useful if you want to create a long delay. And speaking of Redpower circuits and stuff, I want to show you another one that I kind of passed by earlier. Let me showcase some of the machines that I'm using, like the parts that I'm using in my big complicated machines. I mentioned earlier these barrels, which are added by the factorization mod. They're really useful because you can store a very large amount of one type of item in them. And again, like my computer craft world, occasionally a spider survives, though not as many because this drop is ridiculous. It's like 110 blocks, so nearly everything dies. But the occasional spider just somehow manages to live. It's crazy. So these barrels, which I use a lot, are added by the factorization mod, and they basically let you store a massive amount of one thing. So, for instance, over here, I have 27 stacks of this stuff. What's it called again? Nicolite? Yeah, I have 27 stacks of it. Make that 28. Oh. And that is basically because I have so much of it, it was taking up too much space in my pretty things chest. So it is no longer in there. And, well, coal isn't that pretty. But this is basically all the things that I mine out. Well, I guess I'm not near a stack of diamond, but I'm over a half stack now, so I have quite a few diamonds. More than I think I'll be needing. Let me throw redstone in there. I might need to make a chest for redstone. And I'm putting coal in here to distinguish it from charcoal, because there are some things that you can only use coal for. So that's why I'm keeping it safe in there, and mostly burning charcoal, because I have an infinite supply of charcoal. Over here, I have a lot of miscellaneous stuff. In here I have tools and machinery. And in here, metals, mostly. Things that are smelted, actually, because glass and stone wafers are not metal. But nearly everything in here is metal, actually. Those bricks kind of snuck in because they have the same texture as ingots. Yeah. Mostly metal. Lots and lots of metal. Crazy amounts of metal. Yep. And this machine is still running, is it? Gravel. Get out. Gravel took up 2 furnaces? Yeah, that'd slow down the machine. But it passed the cobblestone now, so shouldn't be getting any more gravel. And let me check. Are these getting fully supplied with charcoal? Yep. Definitely still getting plenty of charcoal. That's awesome. So even though this thing has been running, it still is producing enough charcoal that I saw some of it heading over to that barrel, so yay for epic charcoal production. This guy is a trooper, I'm telling you. He just runs his program forever. Like, there is nothing that takes him out of his program anymore. Because he can get the fuel that he needs, he can get the bone meal that he needs. He basically supplies himself with saplings by breaking the leaves, as he's doing right now. Though sometimes he needs to be supplemented a little bit, and have his inventory shuffled around, and have his apples stolen. Yep. But other than that, he can pretty much Go all day. He is a trooper, I'm telling you. And I have an extra sawmill here, in case I want to, say, get some rubber wood, and saw up some rubber wood. If I want to saw up regular wood, well, I just use the sawmill over there. Or rather, add the regular wood to the barrel and grab some planks from the sawmill. But if I want to saw up rubber wood, I can use this one. That creates jungle wood planks, and it creates sticky resin, which can be used in an extractor, which is behind me, to create rubber. So this is a better way of getting rubber from your wood. What's it called? Rubber wood. Yes, of course. Because if you put it in an extractor, you get one rubber from each rubber wood, but you don't get any planks. So this gives you as much rubber on average, and also some planks. So that's pretty cool, using this sawmill with the extractor. And I actually have plenty of rubber right now, even though I only have one rubber sapling. That could become a problem potentially, but I've found a few rubber trees in the area, so I'll probably be able to find more if necessary. I don't want to get in my turtle's way, I just want to grab some saplings to supplement his inventory, though I think I'm grabbing more saplings than I really need. If I look in my miscellaneous chest, if I can find it, yeah, there are stacks of saplings in here, literally. So, more than I really need at all. I really should stop picking those up. Though, there is according to Ethos videos, yeah. By the way, the reason why I'm playing Feed the Beast is because Ethos Lab and Seth Bling did it, and it looked really fun. So basically I'm doing it because I saw them do it first. So it's basically inspired by them. That's why I'm doing this. And in Ethos videos, he used a bunch of biomass to power stuff, which you can create using saplings. So these saplings might come in handy at some point if I want to switch to biomass. But for the moment, charcoal is definitely the way to go. I have an infinite supply that requires almost no maintenance, and I can just burn it in Stirling engines or in generators to create power for either industrial craft or buildcraft. So it's a good all-round fuel. And I think I might add some generators to this pneumatic tube layout so that I can get a bunch of industrial craft power, because I think pretty soon I'm going to start trying to work on more industrial craft stuff. I'm going to try and get a mining laser. Again, inspired by Etho, because Etho really likes his mining laser. And I gotta admit, it looks pretty cool. So I'd like to get that, but that also requires getting a blast furnace, which requires getting a bunch of stuff from the nether, so that's going to require some nether expeditioning, and probably by the time I film another episode of this, I'll have all that stuff. I'll be ready to make a mining laser. So that should be fun. But I think this is about all I wanted to show in this episode. I'm not going to show you the exact programs like I did in Computer Craft, because a lot of this is about the machines themselves and the amazing stuff that they do. Just look at all those ingots pouring through the tube. I just love watching that. And only one of them is running? Yeah. One thing about this transposer is that it always puts all of the same item in the same furnace. So say we have a lot of iron. All the iron is going to get deposited into the first furnace, and yeah, only the extras, the random chance ones, are going to get deposited into any other furnaces. So that one just went through immediately because there was only one of it, basically. Whereas this furnace is going to get stacked full of iron. and the rest of these furnaces are not going to be doing anything. But in the meantime, the pulverizer is going to be running at full capacity because it's going to get fully charged by the Stirling engines, while the rest of these are not running. All the power is going to go to the weakest link. So that's a nice thing. The one thing to note about these engines is that if they're generating more power than the machines can use, the power just gets wasted. So it's a slight inefficiency, and there is a way to fix it using the thermal expansion, but it's an expensive way, so I haven't gotten around to it yet. For now, I'll just use up a little more of my infinite charcoal than I strictly have to, just because it's cheaper in the long run to use up infinite charcoal than it is to use up more expensive resources. Oh yeah, that mob farm is just producing stuff like crazy. I'm up to 4 stacks of arrows. I can shoot stuff like a lot. And the bone meal is keeping up pretty well with the turtle. I think it went up a little bit. I actually had an auto crafting table here until I realized that you can get twice as much by using a pulverizer, so I'm gonna try and see if now the mob farm can keep up better with the turtle. Before, the turtle was actually running out of bone meal some of the time. But 15 stacks of charcoal. Wow. I suppose it's not all that much, relatively speaking, because I could easily set up 15 generators and use all the power that they gave if I set up some complicated machines, but in any case, it is definitely going to be a huge help to have this infinite fuel, and you can expect me to set up some pretty crazy machines in the next episode, I guess. This isn't... I don't know if this is going to be a long-running series, but the next video that I film of this world, I'm going to have some other more awesome machines, like the infinite charcoal machine that turns your ingots, turns your ores into ingots, into double ingots basically, twice as many ingots, because of the fancy pulverizer. Yeah. Well, I've been dragging this on for too long. Thanks for watching, guys, and subscribe to my channel to see more awesome stuff, including vanilla Minecraft and the odd modded video like this. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.